Welcome to the Beauty in Burnt Toast, the podcast where we celebrate the crispy, chaotic, unexpectedly beautiful parts of life. I'm Jade.
And I'm Jamie. We're two women doing our best to live with purpose, laugh through the mess, and talk about the stuff that no one puts on Instagram.
Here you'll find real stories, unfiltered conversations, and reminders that perfection is overrated, but showing up, that matters.
And whether you're building a business, raising humans, chasing healing, or just trying to remember what day it is, you belong here.
So pour the coffee, reheat the toast, and let's get into it. This is the Beauty in Burnt Toast.
Welcome to a special episode of the Beauty in Burnt Toast. Whether you're driving, folding laundry, or sitting crying in the car line, I hope this episode hits you right where you need it. I hope it finds you and grasps you in that moment, because this is for the person that feels buried, overwhelmed, forgotten, or like nothing is moving forward. Just wanted to remind you, you're not buried, you're planted. And maybe God is still growing things within you. So, have you ever felt like you are under something that you just cannot get out of? Completely and totally buried. Well, let me just be a little bit vulnerable here and tell you about what happened to me just this weekend. Friday night, I went to women's conference at our church, and it was a beautiful, powerful, just heartwarming experience to be with a room full of women worshiping God, listening to speakers just push into our potential and explain how beautiful it is to be a woman, especially when you understand the order in God's house and how you're supposed to be as a woman. I left there feeling just rejuvenated. I left there feeling hopeful and just full of excitement. And then I didn't. I woke up Saturday morning and I felt overwhelmed, defeated. I felt completely just buried in hopelessness. I haven't felt that way in a really long time. And I'm still kind of processing through why that happened to me. Because normally, I just get up and just go. I just get up and go. I just push through, but not Saturday. I was covered up. I was defeated. I did not want to get out of the bed. When I tell you this has not happened to me, I mean, like, I have not felt like this in a very long time. Was it exhaustion? Was it overwhelm? Or was it spiritual warfare? Did the devil see that I was rejoicing in the kingdom and that I was ready to conquer all things that he could send my way? Maybe that was it. Or maybe, what if I was being planted? What if this dark, quiet place that I found myself in was where my roots were going deep? What if we think about things differently and we sit and we rest and we allow our body, mind, spirit to grow? Now, I didn't take it as that. I took it as weakness. I took it as a defeat against myself. I started fighting with myself. You're right, you're not good enough. You're right, you can't do this. You're right, you won't be able to do this. And all these things in my mind just started causing me to bury myself deeper and deeper and deeper into that defeated feeling. Instead of allowing what I experienced on Friday night to deepen and to grow within my spirit, I allowed the enemy to sneak in and just conquer everything that I experienced. That's tough. You know, it's so easy to go through life when things are just hunky-dory and all things are going in exactly the direction that you, Jeremy, you think they should. It's easy to try and control instead of release control. And so I want to encourage you. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Do as I say, not as I do. Don't give up. Don't be defeated. Don't let the enemy come and sneak in and tell you that you're not good enough. God's just begun. You're planted, your roots are running deep, and He's not done with you yet.
Hey guys, I want to play off of what Jamie just talked about at her women's conference. You know, we go to these conferences, our kids go to youth, and you get your cup filled and you just feel great. You leave with joy. But we have to remember that the devil is prowling around like a lion, constantly ready to pounce. So we have to wear our armor all the time. Let's get real. Spiritual warfare, it's a thing, and we have to be prepared. But God says that all you need is faith the size of a mustard seed to move mountains. It's easy to trust God when we see the fruit. But what about when you're in the dirt, when you're buried, when you're carrying a heavy load, or when there's silence and stillness? And to me, those are the worst moments. I cannot stand to be in a pause, to be still, for there just to be nothing going on, because we live in a society where it's just go, go, go all the time. But where do you hear God's voice the most? In the silence, in the waiting, in the thick of it. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future." Listen to that again. Plans to give you hope and a future. We make plans, but God's plans are always better. Growth doesn't always look like progress. It doesn't always look like what you had planned in your head. But sometimes in the stillness, that's when we see Him most. But in the kingdom, that stillness doesn't mean you've been forgotten. So if you're in the dirt right now, hold on. God still got you. He's got something great planned. That plant is growing through the dirt. And while you might feel buried, He sees you and He's still there. So this week's podcast might have been a little bit different. We wanted to film something quick for you so you don't feel forgotten, so you still feel seen in the midst of it all. We hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we can't wait for you to see what we have planned next Monday. Hartzell, this next one's for you. Keep your eyes open. You may know that in August, we have a special election coming up. So the people you're going to be seeing, I think, is what you've been waiting for. See you next time on the Beauty and Burnt Toast. Bye, guys.